Every year we get good to great coming of age films that come out, but some stand above the rest because either it depicts a specific time period that people can relate to, or it hits specific themes, or make you see into a person's mind and show how similar your experience can be even though you're very different. I can think of movies like Dope, Perks of Being a Wallflower, Booksmart, and even more recently, Are You There God Meets Margaret. DIDI is a new movie based on the director's life. It's kind of autobiographical. Some things change here and there, he said, but it's about a 13-year-old boy who's Asian American, and he's on his summer break between graduating middle school and heading into high school. And I think this movie enters the annuals of other great coming of age films. This movie perfectly captures the look, the feel, the slang of 2008. It transported me back to when I was a teenager. It was a weird period where technology started to invade our lives. MySpace and the top 8 with your friends, the flip phones and how hard it was to text on them, the AOL Messenger and how that would be your prime, way to communicate with somebody because it was so hard to text on the phones. So it brought us all closer together as kids because you could talk to your friends even when they were not right in front of your face, but also came with its negatives. Just like today, it was intertwined with so much of our self-esteem. 1 minute you could be really high and happy with all your friends, but if someone took you off your MySpace top 8 friends, it can crash your self-esteem. Feels like a friend just killed you. Chris, aka Wang, aka DIDI, the character goes by many names for many different reasons in the film, which were also unique to this movie, played by Izaac Wang, gives a phenomenal performance for his age. While he has a lot of the annoying and vulgar traits of kids back then and now, there's something about his performance and the way the character is written that makes you feel empathetic. Whether you're cringing at remembering making those weird decisions when you're talking to girls or friends or saying the wrong things, or you feel like you're right in his shoes when you're experiencing the fun of being a 13-year-old, hanging out with your friends, and getting up to things that you shouldn't be doing.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends.
There's universal coming-of-age plot points in every movie like this that they have to hit, or it's not a coming-of-age film. The falling out with your friends, the nervousness you get when you try to interact with your crush, after you fall out with your friends, or maybe you go with your friends to a party with older kids that you shouldn't be there. The movie goes through all the best of hits of all the plot points, but what makes this movie unique in the execution of those things, it doesn't execute them in the way that they normally do. The planned way, the way it feels like it ebbs and flows in most coming of age comedies, that they place them in different points of the film and they correlate with the emotional journey that DIDI is going on. Added nature of him being from a Taiwanese family and how that is intertwined in his personality and what's going on with his struggles makes you feel like you are seeing in the eyes from a different point of view if you're not from that culture, but also makes the world feel smaller because there's so many things in this film that's similar to the experience that we all go through no matter when you were born or what time period you were born in. The intrusive grandma, the overprotective mother, the annoying sister, they're all here, all hilarious, and all really well acted. I have to give a shout out to the actress that played the mother, Joan Chen. She was great throughout, gave very subtle performances of moments of rage, empathy, and kindness. She was the MVP in this movie, and she gave a really moving monologue towards the end of the film that almost brought me to tears. Another thing that sets this movie apart is the laugh out loud nature of the comedy. It's very specific because it deals with things, how you grow up in the time period that you're in. So many things that I remember and it just made me laugh out loud, but there are some universal laughs in there no matter what time period you grew up, and it was some really genuine funny moments that me and the person I went to see the movie with and even the crowd laughed out, cringed in laughter of embarrassment. It was just really, really strong, and the way it portrayed the balance of the comedic elements and the sad elements of someone trying to shed their culture so they could fit more into the majority, because he was one of the few Asian kids in his school, mostly white. He's trying to fit in. He thinks that he can't be Asian because it's just not as cool back in 2008. And he tries to be very hyper masculine throughout the film. It's not him. He's a softer kid, but at every turn he fumbles the bag trying to do it, whether it's the way he talks to girls, talk to his mom, which blew my mind because if I did that at 13 I wouldn't be existing right now, and just how he interacted with friends and everybody else. It was just a struggle to find his identity as a person, as an Asian person, as an American, and all those different things were wrapped in the comedy and the drama in the movie. Film dives into that isolating feeling when it feels like all your support systems that you feel like you have is throwing you to the wayside. Your friends finding new friends or getting girlfriends, the older kids you thought were cool kind of figuring out maybe you're not as cool as you thought, your sister's going to college and now you don't have that dynamic at home, and you might feel like you're left with the drama in the house by yourself to deal with. It really dwells deep into those things. It's like a movie of two halves where some of that stuff is sprinkled in, but it really dives deeper into it in the second half. And I really appreciate it took the time to show how it can be hard as a 30-year-old to juggle all your internal feelings and all the craziness that's going on in your brain with your hormones, while also dealing with all the craziness that's happening in your life. And this movie also has some funny, trippy moments that I really wish they leaned into more. They had elements here and there, but I feel like eventually they were thrown to the wayside. And I think that this movie would stood out even more, maybe be one of the best of the year, if it really leaned into some of those trippy moments to exemplify how DIDI or Chris or Wang how he actually felt, despite it having a unique culture look to it, be set in 2008, all these unique things in there. I feel like it could have leaned even harder into that, and this would have been maybe a masterpiece of a coming of age film. And my one last nitpick, my one last thing that I feel like this movie did, it felt like it had multiple endings. It felt like it kept going and going and going. I saw to a point, even though people were enjoying the film, it got towards the end of the third act where I saw people starting to check their phones in the movie theaters. Even my friend landed me, he's like, how long is this movie? Because it felt like it just kept going. It felt like there were certain points where they could end in the movie and it would have been satisfying. And the ending that we got was pretty satisfying, but it still could have ended maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes before then. But overall, I love the film. I thought it was great. I had a great time with this movie. I think that this film is one of the best coming of age stories that we've got within this decade so far. I think that it's going to enter the annals of the cult classic or classic coming of age stories in the next couple years as people discover it. And I think that is going to open the doors for more unique POVs in coming of age stories, so we can get different perspectives and, you know, help people understand that we're all very similar despite we having different cultures. So with that said, I'm going to give DIDI a B+. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate DIDI if you saw it yet? And if you have not, what's holding you back? I implore you to go check out this small film in theaters. Such a good time. Drop all those comments down below and let me know. Like the video if you like the review. Attack that subscribe button. Hit the notification bells to be notified reviews, reactions, live discussions, and much, much more. You can watch more content right